Check the mic, we're going live. Stories told, they rise and dive. Topics fresh with every spin. You won't guess what's coming in. Every week a new surprise. Minds awake, never lies. Conversations bold and free. Tune in now, just wait and see. This podcast is uncalled for. Catch us here, there's so much more. Laughs and tales you can't ignore. A journey that will leave you floored. In the night or in the day, just press play, we're on our way. Voices sharp, opinions bright, talking through the day and night. Guests and hosts in perfect blend. You won't want this ride to end.
Hello everyone, welcome to the podcast. Surprise hearing me here. So the original version of this episode, unfortunately, I was not at all happy with how it's opened. So we're going to take out the original opening, and I do apologize for that. So this is my way of making amends. And we're just going to go right to the heart of this episode. And this episode is about the Main Street extension of the KC Streetcar system having its grand opening. I was fortunate enough to attend and very sneakily got the audio from the proceedings, and have a few thoughts afterwards. So you'll at least hear the audio from the actual ceremony and then my thoughts afterwards, but that beginning has got to go. So, and I do want once again to apologize for that bad audio. I take full responsibility for that, and we hope you enjoy the rest of this episode.
Hello! Wow! Who's ready to ride? I want to welcome you all diehards out here today. What a beautiful day to open the Main Street extension. I'm Tom Garand. I'm the Executive Director of the Kansas City Streetcar Authority, and I want to welcome you to our Main Street extension grand opening. On time and under budget. I'm really in shock. I can't believe we're finally here. It's been a long time coming. This is a historic day for Kansas City. This is a generational project that's going to reconnect the employment centers of downtown and the plaza through the densest residential neighborhood, through the heart of Kansas City, to our largest university and University of Missouri, Kansas City. There's no question this is a monumental milestone. Yes. This represents years and literally decades of work by many, and many of you who are here today. So, round of applause for all of you. Thank you for coming out. I was recently asked what two words best describe how we got to this grand opening today. And after a lot of thought, there's a lot of words we could use. My response was one, perseverance, and two, partnership. Perseverance. You all know this wasn't easy. Over the decades, we had failed votes, we had political uncertainty, we had naysayers who didn't get the vision for what high-capacity quality public transit could do for our city. We had COVID, we had financial challenges, we had, to find resources for a $352 million project, the largest in our region's history. We had to knock on doors and gather signatures. Thank you, David Johnson and the RTA. Round of applause for these guys. We had at least 5 times over the life of the planning, of the fundraising, of the execution, where it wasn't clear if we were going to get this project to the end of the line. That's perseverance. You all believed in what this project could do. You did the hard work, you stayed the course, and we're here today on October 24th to open this generational project. Of course, perseverance and hard work isn't enough. it really is about true partnership. And before I pass the torch to our other speakers, I need to say some thanks and acknowledge the partners that came together from the very beginning to make this project happen. No one person, no one entity could do this alone. This was a community effort. Our effort was spearheaded by really 4 organizations: the Streetcar Authority, the City of Kansas City, Missouri, who you'll hear from in a minute, and the Main Street Rail Transportation Development District, and our friends at Ride KCATA. So, big round of applause to our partners for delivering the project on time and under budget. A hat tip to the City Public Works Department and our construction crews. This stuff is hard, right? This is a generational project through the heart of our city. Jason Waldron, the Public Works team, thank you. Round of applause. Our city can do big things, right? Our city can do big things, and we're here today to celebrate the doing of big things thanks to their hard work. I also want to thank our team at Streetcar Authority and our operations team for 10 years of demonstrating how to do this at the highest level. So operators and maintainers, our streetcar staff, the folks who are delivering this system each and every day, right? You all instill confidence in our city to believe we can extend this beyond downtown. It was your work each and every day to demonstrate, right, the opportunity, the impact, and the benefit that this system could bring, not just downtown, but our entire city. So thank you to you all. And of course, we need to recognize our federal and state partners. The $352 million project, over $170 million we've captured in federal funds. We have some congressional representatives and some champions here today. You'll hear from them in a minute. But I want to thank our FTA staff at Region 7 and DC, sitting in the front row, for being here with us from the very beginning to navigate a challenging federal process, to bring resources from Washington to Kansas City. It's not just resulting in projects that are going to be transformational, but jobs and generational impacts and reconnections. They believe in what we're doing, and they've helped us get here. So thank you to FTA Region 7. And last but not least, I want to thank all of you from downtown to UMKC and beyond throughout the region who believed that Kansas City deserves the best, right? The best public transit system, the best streetcar system, and you all persevered. The partnerships made this happen. Nobody could do it alone. And with that, I'm going to introduce the chairman of the Streetcar Authority Board of Directors, who helped make some of those hard decisions when it wasn't easy over the course of the last 10 years, Michael Collins.
Good morning, everyone. Okay, let's try that again. Good morning, everyone. It's a great day. Morning. Today marks a defining moment for Kansas City, the opening of the Main Street streetcar expansion. What began as a vision for a connected, accessible, and thriving downtown has now become a reality that extends opportunity and connection to even more for our city. First, I want to express my deepest thanks to the Transportation Development District elected board members. Your foresight and commitment made this expansion possible, from the early planning and financing to the steadfast leadership required to see this project through. To my colleagues who are all around here from the Kansas City Streetcar Authority Board of Directors, thank you for your unwavering dedication, partnership, and advocacy. Together, we have built more than a transit line. We've built confidence in Kansas City's ability to deliver complex and transformative infrastructure. I also want to recognize our federal partners, but not just the names of the organizations they represent, but the people that are behind those organizations. So I thank you for the people from the U.S. Department of Transportation, Federal Transit Administration, and our congressional delegation here today for their belief in Kansas City's future and investing in a model of transit-oriented growth that's being watched nationwide. And finally, thank you to Mayor Quinton Lucas, the City Council, the entire Kansas City Streetcar team, and the countless local businesses, community members, and workers who have helped make this day possible. This expansion is not the end. It is the next step in creating a truly connected Kansas City, a city that moves forward together. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. And it is now my honor to introduce friend and District 4 Council Representative Eric Bunch. Eric's been a member of the Streetcar Authority Board as the mayor's appointee. He's been a petitioner to the district, and he's been a longtime advocate of public transit, not just streetcar, but regional public transit that our city deserves. Councilman Bunch.
I love the enthusiasm. Thank you so much. What an incredible day. I wish we had a little bit better weather, but just goes to show how important this is by how many people are here, regardless of the weather. So thank you for bearing with us and enjoying this amazing day. When we imagine the streetcar running down Main Street to the plaza to UMKC, the leaders of the city weren't just thinking about public transit. They were thinking about the people that this was going to connect, about the families and students and small business owners who make the neighborhoods of Midtown and downtown and the plaza vibrant and exciting, and those who believe for years that Midtown specifically deserves better public transit access and that Greater Kansas City deserves better public transit access. This project is a reflection of what happens when a community comes together with a shared vision, from neighborhood associations to local businesses to city staff and advocates, and I want to put a finer point on advocates. This was a project that would not have happened but for the tireless efforts of our advocates. So please give a round of applause to all the people who pushed so hard for so many years to make sure that this would happen. This really is a community-driven project, and it's a reminder that when we plan with that community, and not just for it, that the results are longer lasting and more impactful. For Midtown, the streetcar access means better access to opportunity, to education. It's worth noting that my kids are here right now, and my twin daughters will be able to ride this streetcar after this event back to school. They are skipping school at the moment, so sorry, teachers. This was really important stuff, and I think valuable experience for everyone. It means we're creating streets here in Kansas City where people feel safe walking, biking, and waiting for public transit and getting on those public transit vehicles. And I do want to talk, I just want to mention again about how important it is for the youth. I'm a parent of young children, and what public transit does, especially something like the streetcar, is it allows our young people of Kansas City to have freedom, to explore their city, to enjoy the things that we all get to enjoy, and experience the city in new ways. And I would say that I think that there's no better indicator species of a vibrant, active community than seeing children on public transit. And so for that, I'm incredibly excited. I hope one day to see dozens of kids from Hyde Park and Valentine and elsewhere riding that streetcar and experiencing that freedom that we all really deserve for our children. So today, as we celebrate this ribbon cutting, or I'm not sure exactly, smoke coming out of some smoke cannons or something, and the streetcar going ahead on its own and taking people up to downtown, let's take a moment and thank the neighbors and the advocates who showed up to meetings, who circulated petitions, made sure, friends who became notaries so that they could notarize the ballots of our neighbors. I mean, I see so many of my own neighbors here in the crowd who did so much to make this a reality. They pushed us to do better. They pushed us to make sure that this was not just a streetcar investment, but that it was something that invested in our streets to make them safer and more walkable. And those who never gave up on the idea that Midtown deserves world-class transit. So again, this streetcar isn't just connecting destinations, it's connecting people. And that's what makes this such an incredibly proud day for Kansas Cityans. So thank you very much for being here with us today.
Next up, I would like to welcome our city manager, Mario Vasquez. We've asked a lot from the city, from mentioned Public Works and their leadership, to Tammy Queen in the finance department. Wouldn't happen without the buy-in of our city leadership, not just at the elected official level, but through the city manager's office. So, Mario.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's grand opening of the Streetcar. It's a great day, but it's still a beautiful day for Kansas City, so I think we should all be proud of being here today. I'm going to go a little nostalgic here and say that I came here to Kansas City 28 years ago, and I was looking for experience. And what I found in Kansas City is opportunity, and I think over time, many people took advantage and found a way to make the most out of the opportunity. And since my time here, we reinvested in 18th and Vine, we rebuilt Union Station, we built the Power and Light District, we built T-Mobile Arena. We actually reinvigorated the Crossroads District into the eclectic and artistic district that it is today. We opened up Liberty Memorial, we built the World War I Museum. We've been doing a lot of work in the riverfront. We opened the Casey Curran Stadium. The neighborhood over there is just incredible today. And we're not done, right? We are hoping to next reinvigorate the plaza, reimagine it what it needs to be as the future and center of Kansas City. And beyond that, we still have a baseball team to bring downtown. So we're going to do that too. So all of these things are going to get stitched together by the Streetcar. This unique and transformative investment that is going to really make Kansas City what Mayor Kay Barnes once imagined as the core and the heart of the metropolitan region. The concept of the River Crown Plaza is alive today, and actually some of these roots go back to her and her ideas about how to bring back Kansas City to what it is today. I want to spend some time thanking really my predecessors. I'm a Johnny-come-lately as it comes to the Streetcar. Other city managers did a lot more work than I did. Troy Schulte, Brian Plant. I want to thank them for their leadership and vision and really the leadership they provided to our team. I want to thank my staff, the Public Works Department in particular, and the leadership of Jason Waldron and Director Michael Shaw. They spent countless hours making sure that this project is executed correctly and with much attention to the needs of the community. I want to thank the neighborhoods and the business community along Main Street. I know this has been a long run, but without your support and without your patience, this is not possible. So again, I am looking forward to what the Streetcar is going to do for Kansas City. I've seen a lot of transformation in my career. There's much more to come. So thank you.
Thank you, Mario. This was always designed to be the spine of a regional system, and it's really with great pleasure that we have the Congresswoman from the Kansas 3rd District here today, Sharice Davids, to talk a little bit about what this project means for the Kansas City.
Good morning. Thank you guys for being here in this beautiful weather, but really for an amazing event. And I would like to particularly say thank you for, I thought I had to speak after Emmanuel Cleaver, so thank you for not making me do that. The warm-up act. Before I get into my prepared remarks, can I just, I'm going to take a point of privilege here and say thank you to our federal employees, our federal civil servants, and all of the people who literally are showing up to work every single day in service of the American people and are not getting paid. My mom was in the military for 20 years and then was at the Postal Service for 20 years. And like so many of our federal civil servants, missing a paycheck is very real and has very real consequences. And I can tell you that Congressman Cleaver and I have been going out to D.C. and trying to push for us to get this thing back open. So I just want to say thank you to our federal civil servants, our active duty service members. Thank you, everyone. It's an exciting day to be here. For folks I haven't met, I'm Sharice Davids. I represent Kansas's 3rd District in Congress. And to put it very simply, I am a huge infrastructure nerd. I love seeing projects like this come to life because we're not just talking about moving people, we're talking about moving communities forward. We've heard a bit about that already. And as you've heard today, this expanded streetcar is going to connect River Market all the way down to UMKC, where I happen to have graduated from. And I do have to say, as a former UMKC student, I absolutely would have loved jumping on this thing, going from Broadway Cafe down to class. When I was walking to class and getting where I needed to go, I can tell you this would have made life so much easier. Passengers are going to be able to ride for free, and it's going to make life a bit easier for folks to get to jobs, to get to school, to get to the local businesses that, as we already heard, have been great partners during all of this. You know, Ride KC put out this report that since 2016, the streetcar has already provided 15 million rides. And that, 15 million rides, that's like pretty amazing already. And, you know, this is, again, I know I'm an infrastructure nerd. It's absolutely about the infrastructure of it all, but the infrastructure is what provides those opportunities for our small businesses to boost our local economy, to create jobs, and to connect people. And I can tell you right now, we need to be connected to each other more than ever. We need to be getting people in community and having conversations with each other. And this is going to be one of the tools to make that happen. And for all of us pragmatic Midwesterners, this project came in $7 million under budget. Now, if you guys can come help me. This is a major partnership. This required local partners. It required federal investments, and those did happen on a bipartisan basis. We passed the bipartisan infrastructure law. I was absolutely proud to support that. I'm just going to say this. I was proud to be the only person in the Kansas delegation to vote for this, because these are the kinds of projects that we're going to get to see from this. We're also going to continue to see the more than 370 projects that have shovels in the ground, everything from replacing lead pipes to modernizing US 69 and rebuilding crumbling bridges throughout the KC metro area. And today is proof that when we invest in communities, those benefits of that are absolutely tangible, they're lasting, they're concrete. See what I did there? Okay. Literally concrete. So to everyone who worked on this project, thank you so much. To everyone who is going to be jumping on the streetcar and getting where you need to go, thank you for being part of that. Our planners, our construction crews. I know I saw some folks over here. The folks who are getting us where we need to go and making sure that we're safe as we get there. The streetcar it's just exciting. It's a path to opportunity, connection, and growth. And I appreciate getting the chance to do something where we get to celebrate the work of the people of this community. So I'm going to stop there. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Congresswoman. I now am proud to introduce our representative from Missouri's 5th District, Congressman Emanuel Cleaver.
Good morning. The Continental Army had just suffered 3 devastating defeats in New York. They made their way back Pennsylvania. And when a young writer named Thomas Paine, who had a pamphlet called The American Crisis that he wrote each month, he wrote some words that we still remember. These are the times that try men's soul. These are the times, again, that try men's souls and women's souls. And I could stand here and paint a picture that could be placed in a horror gallery on how difficult these times are. But there is, even in the midst of ugliness, some joy. And those of us who are fortunate to live in this community, we can experience joy with the understanding that none of this would happen without some cooperation. Cooperation from the federal government and the municipal governments and the county governments and the ATAs and the corporate community. We are doing something today that probably no other city is doing on this continent. We're celebrating a big success because we work together. And when people talk to me about Kansas City, I said, do you go to the Chiefs games? Most people don't want to admit it because they're secret fans of the Chiefs, even if they live in Buffalo. But I tell them, watch the machine work together. Go to Arrowhead, watch the machine work together. And this community is a machine that works together. And we ought to be proud of what these folks have done. Now, on the final statement about cooperation, I was downtown, in the downtown area, not too far from Crown Center, with one of my family members who had come here. And a couple of businessmen were standing outside, and I waved at them, and they beckoned me to come across the street, which I did. And they said, Congressman, this is a mess. We can't get into our stores, we can't do anything, everything is bad, this is horrible. And I said, Sly James and Quentin Lucas's phone numbers called cooperation. Thank you, Congressman, and that's a great segue, actually, to the man who needs no introduction, our Mayor Quinlan. How's everybody doing today? Y'all should be even happier. I'm your last speaker, and we're going to start riding this train soon. First of all, I want to talk about how proud I am today of so many things around us. I am proud to have Emmanuel Cleaver as our congressman today, tomorrow, 2 years from now. We are proud to have you with us. I am proud to have a good friend like Congresswoman Sharice Davids. Y'all may not know this, but Sharice and I went to law school together. And shortly after she finished law school, we had a coffee in the Crossroads area talking about settling in Kansas City. This was probably 2010 or early 2011. And it would be hard to imagine all the improvements and all the progress we would see. But thanks to some outstanding people, we have been able to see these differences. In early 2011, the people of Kansas City had the wisdom to elect Sly James as mayor. And Mayor James was a visionary. Working with a number of folks, he said this streetcar system could be a game changer, not just for transit, not just for economic development, but for the future of Kansas City itself. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give flowers to Sly James, everyone who worked with them as we built up the streetcar. I am proud, and the city manager already noted, of the visions that we have seen for even a generation of Kansas Cityans. As was noted, Mayor Barnes saw that we needed to be connected more fully.
During Mayor Cleaver's tenure, we saw we needed to renovate important sites like Union Station and the Liberty Memorial. And as we say we are not done yet, we need to make sure that the story of streetcars, something that Mayor James tried before, is something that we continue. We bridge important divides, east-west across Troost, east-west across state lines, and more than anything, working each day to connect our entire community. So what I encourage all of us to do today is certainly celebrate what we have been able to do, but also to recognize the work ahead. In that work ahead, we want to make sure that we acknowledge all of those who've had a key role within it. He's not with us today, but Congressman Sam Graves of Northwest Missouri has done outstanding work making sure we could have the support we needed. Everyone on this platform party has played a key role, and many of you, not just out watching here, but watching on television and beyond, have been believers in the future of public transit for Kansas City. So earlier we got to hear from the Bunch children, and hello again to all of you. I get to have my son with us today. My 4-year-old son gets a chance to know in Kansas City with this great fixed connection throughout our community. We get to build it for so many more, and we get to say that Kansas City truly is a city that cares about its history, has reclaimed legacy areas like the riverfront, Union Station, downtown, the plaza, and more. But more than anything, Kansas City is committed to connecting people for generations ahead. So thank you to everybody who has been part of this. And let me just say this before I go. We have been through pandemics. We've been through a lot of different interesting presidential elections, mayoral ones, so many others. But there is somebody I always call, and he is smiling at me. And that's Tom Guerin, the happiest man on the face of the earth. And I've said time and again, Tom, what are we going to do? And Tom says, we'll be all right. I said, Tom, I don't know if we'll find money. We'll be all right. Tom, we need $100 million from somebody. He says, we'll find a way. Tom has gone to Jefferson City, Washington, Topeka, City Hall, like every day. He is working his tail off. And today is a sign not just of him, but of his staff, and everyone's been a part of it. So make some noise for everybody who has worked to make this happen. Sit down. Kansas City, are you ready to ride? Kansas City, are you ready to ride? We're going to go flip the switch with the Roo and ride the Kansas City streetcar. Thank you so much.
One thing I forgot to do is get one of those posters.
Closing thoughts here. So shortly after this, they did a ceremonial switch that opened the streetcar. They had 4 streetcars parked at the Plaza stop and probably a couple more at UMKC to handle everyone wanting to ride. So myself, along with the proprietor for Bear Transit's KC on Facebook, we got on one of the northbound streetcars heading towards the starter line, and we rode the whole line. This is where things get really interesting. Because that's Union Station when old meets new. We get announcements. We're experiencing a blockage on the track, and we'll be slowing things down. Well, slowing things down translated eventually to stopping full stop at the library stop, because on the southbound tracks, there was a streetcar that broke down, and we got to see the whole process and everything. So they had to bring in another streetcar to tow this thing back to the depot. And that took a good long while. We were sitting there for almost an hour, it seems like, waiting for this to clear out. But it was cool. It was cool. And then when service resumed, we made the loop, and on the streetcar announcement itself, River Market North is now River Markets. despite it saying River Market North on the actual platform. Remember, River Market North is the existing platform handling the loop, and will handle the southbound traffic once the riverfront extension opens. And the northbound, the new platform is just River Market. Right. So I think it would behoove the Streetcar Authority to just be a little consistent with everything and just rename that platform River Market. Otherwise, we have a Monument Bank situation going on there. This would probably go over your head as a travel nerd, as a transit nerd, but in the London Underground system, there are two stations, Bank and Monuments, that are basically one big station together. So it depends on which lines they handle. If it's the cut and cover lines like the Circle and District, I think those are two lines that service that station. That's Monument. If it's all the other stuff like Waterloo and City, and it is determined for the Waterloo and City, it's determined for the Docklands Light Rail. I think it's the Central and Northern lines run through there too. Then it's a Bank. So I think you're creating that sort of a situation there on at the River Market, and it makes me wonder what will happen when East West finally does come about, and we see different names on the platforms at Westport. But it's pretty cool when we got to River Market. Hearing that, and I said, this is a streetcar to Plaza and UMKC. But that is awesome. And then hearing the names of the new stops being rattled off, that was quite satisfying and everything. And again, by the time this comes out, that riverfront extension should be open. You know, they've done a lot of cool things to that park and all that. And before I wrap things up, just a couple notes on the speakers we heard. Start with Tom Garrett, who opened the presentation. He's the executive director of the KC Streetcar Authority. Good guy. I met him at a open house for the riverfront extension in person. Great guy. And I told him my thoughts. I think, hey, could we get a streetcar out to Johnson County and somewhere? And he said a couple of things. One, it depends on this Main Street extension that we were talking about, because such a line would have to spur off from the Plaza stop. And certainly that stop is large enough it could handle it. All right. And for me, once again, these are my thoughts on a Johnson County line. You'd have the connector line spurring from the Plaza, through the actual Plaza, probably down 47th Street, before turning into Ward Parkway and going where it becomes Ward Parkway into Shawnee Mission Parkway, into Johnson Drive, and stopping at the Mission Transit Center, which is a generous way of saying massive bus stop in this particular case. If the name Transit Center appears, it really should have all modes of transit, not just buses. And then from there, two lines. A Metcalf line, because Metcalf is basically, for those of you not familiar with Johnson County, Overland Park, Metcalf Avenue, US 169, true, is also the de facto main streets of Johnson County. So, gotta have a line on Metcalf. And it would probably behoove them to do a spur of that Metcalf line to service Lenexa City Center down Santa Fe, the 87th Street. The other line is the Quivira line, so just continue down either Journeyman Parkway or Johnson Drive to Quivira and service the following sites: Oak Park Mall, Johnson County Community College, KU Edwards campus, minimum. But what was interesting in my discussion with Tom and others at that function, they had expressed interest in finding ways to connect Gardner. Gardner is the southwesternmost corner of Johnson County, along with Edgerton, and quite a ways out from what we're talking about. So we're really getting into possibly commuter rail at that point. I certainly think streetcars should service Metcalf and Quivira. Yeah, we do need to talk about getting some commuter rail in this area too, especially considering the total lack of rail being discussed on that green corridor. I don't think buses are the way to cut it. I think it should be some form of rail in that green corridor. It's basically State Avenue on the Kansas side, Independence Avenue on the Missouri side. Yeah, just maybe that's a commuter rail situation. A commuter rail situation, certainly to the airport, and then got to get commuter rail to the other far out suburbs like Independence, Blue Springs, Lee Summit, Liberty, Smithville, Belton, Grandview, Stanley, Bonner Springs, Edwardsville, Platte City. Platte City would be right next to the airports. So there's things to think about. So that's Tom Garand. Sharice Davids, my current congresswoman. I had met. I talked about it briefly, but not in a whole lot of detail. But Sharice, I first met through the League of Women Voters when I was still doing video for them. We actually sat on a committee talking about media awareness. Can you tell what's fake and what isn't? She and I were both on that committee, and this was about the time she first decided to run for Congress, 2017, 2018 timeframe. And it's during this time frame she also came to a podcasters meetup, and I learned about her entrepreneurship podcast called Starty Pants, which you can still find on YouTube, and do highly recommend. It's about entrepreneurship, particularly entrepreneurship in minority communities, because remember, this woman is Native American. And it was the first time this was actually the first time I'd seen Sharice since before. She was in the middle of her first congressional run. Last time I saw her in person, and she had forgotten who I was, and reminder. So it was 2018. So I completely understand. I forgot who I was. So no question about that. And Cleaver, first of all, his name is on the cross street, Cleaver 2 Boulevard. And Cleaver 2 Boulevard in Brookside. That's the Plaza stop. Former mayor of Kansas City before his now two plus decades in Congress. And he actually spoke at my commencement from UMKC. So I thought that'd be a pretty cool detail to end on. Some of those other speakers, Will Bunch, I think he's big on transits. I think he's the big transit guy in Kansas City government right now. So great to have him in office right now. And of course, shout out to Mayor Lucas as well. He's been doing a great job with the city and helping get this expanded. But of course, credits to Sylvester James, the mayor before him, for getting this thing started in the first place. And of course, more credit to Kay Barnes, who was mayor when I went to UMKC and got interested in downtown revitalization, because that was a big thing even then. No streetcar, no P&L district. Granted, I do have my issues with P&L district. There was literally nothing there in the other part of the 2000s. She helped kickstarts everything that we've seen up to today in Kansas City, and she deserves a hell of a lot of credit for that. And but again, by the time this comes out, the Riverfront extension should be open, and I'm looking forward to riding it and being at that opening ceremony. And I'm looking forward to getting Better Transit to KC on the podcast too. So, yeah, fun times to be a Kansas Citian. And with that, I'm going to close and thank you all for listening, and we will talk soon.
From Union Station to Crossroads, we ride along the line through the heart of Kansas City, where the lights always shine. Kaufman Center and Power and Light, where the city comes alive. Metro Center and Library, where the stories thrive. On the KC Streetcar, where the city beats like a drum. From North Loop to City Market, we're always on the run. River Market and River Market West, where the history is told. World War I Museum and Memorial, where the heroes still hold. Union Hill and Armour, through Westport's lively scene. Southmoreland to the art museums, where culture reigns supreme. To the Plaza and UMKC, where knowledge takes its stand. And the riverfront, where the city meets the river's grand. On the KC Streetcar, every stop's a part of home, connecting us together, where the heart of KC roams. Through the neighborhoods and history, our journeys never bland. On the KC Streetcar, riding hand in hand. On the KC Streetcar, where the city beats like a drum. From North Loop to City Market, we're always on the run. River Market and River Market West, where the history is told. World War I Museum and Memorial, where the heroes still hold. So let's ride the KC Streetcar through every twist and bend. From Union Station to the riverfront, together till the end. In this city of dreams, where our stories intertwine. On the KC Streetcar, where Kansas City shines. So let's ride the KC Streetcar through every twist and bend. From Union Station to the riverfront, together till the end. In this city of dreams, where our stories intertwine. On the KC Streetcar, where Kansas City shines. So let's ride the KC Streetcar through every twist and bend. From Union Station to the riverfront, together till the end. In this city of dreams, where our stories intertwine. On the KC Streetcar, where Kansas City shines.
This podcast is Uncalled For. It is hosted, produced, and edited by myself, Mike Chernevsky. Our opening music is the This Podcast is Uncalled For theme, created at suno.com, suno.com. And the outro music is the KC Streetcar song, also produced at suno.com, suno.com.
Please support the podcast and purchase our exclusive Uncalled For merchandise. T-shirts, sweatshirts, mugs, stickers, and so much more. Go to www.cafepress.com/uncalledforpod. Thank you so much for listening. We will see you next time.